Ladies and gentlemen of the Michigan State Legislature, I have come before you today to address the issue of food deserts and the impact they have on obesity statistics and, as a whole, society. Obesity, point blank, is a medical condition in which an individual has too much fat. Obesity is a condition that leads to other conditions and is now a national epidemic. Many unnecessary and preventable deaths occur because of a gateway condition that obesity is. Obesity increases the risk and the occurrence of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and some forms of cancers, among a host of other conditions. Diets high in fruit and vegetables have been linked to cases of decreased risk of chronic conditions and heart disease. Physicians have also seen the effects of obesity on the skin, lung function, reproduction, optics, and mobility. Obesity is killing so many of our people, and we have not been helping them with how we allow our cities to be structured. In the nutrition industry, a food desert is what we refer to as a geographic area that is void of healthy and nutritious food due to economic and physical obstacles. This is poisonous to our communities and our people. This is happening all over the state and right in our backyard. Food deserts contribute to obesity rates. Food deserts keep the healthy, nutritious foods out of our people's hands. We talk about health disparities quite frequently. Well, here we are, presented with a reason for a major health disparity. A balanced diet is a powerful thing in keeping the body healthy, and without proper diet, we don't achieve proper health. A study posted in the Canadian Geographer in 2015 showed that there are 3 levels of access of food in the food desert. The first level being the physical barrier that keeps people away from the supermarket. Whether this is no transportation or the difficulty of using public transportation to get perishable items that spoil far too quickly. The second level plays on the income of the family or the individuals, and them having access to food but no way to afford it. The third level, and just as troubling, finds us seeing that people have no desire for the food itself, based on what other options they are given. A study of food shopping in Detroit showed that half of the city lived in areas twice as far from the supermarket than to the closest convenience or liquor store. When we reflect on the first issue of transportation, we see that in bigger cities we have public transportation systems. This is a good thing, right? Yes and no. For you see that subway or bus route may be hindering our ability to shop. When an individual wants to stock up on groceries using the public transport, they may only be buying the necessities due to space and timing issues. If you have to wait at a bus stop for 45 minutes to an hour, ladies and gentlemen, you may not be standing there with your fresh veggies and meat that will spoil. You instead would opt for things that are compact, will stay good in all weather, and that are cost effective. With cost, we are seeing families struggling to pay for those nutritious foods and instead opting for empty calories based solely on the cost. You can buy 6 packs of chicken-flavored ramen noodles for $1.39 and 2 to 6 pieces of fresh chicken breast meat for $9.48. Now, to a family on a limited budget, that makes a huge difference. That means 6 meals instead of just one. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 to 1. Same thing goes for fast food. Now, you can get fast food just about anywhere. They are positioned nicely all around the city. Sure, this is opportunities for many people, and sure it is, but it is not meant to be the replacement for a majority of the meals that are consumed within the home. That same package of chicken meant for one meal could buy 9 McChicken sandwiches from the McDonald's value menu. It's not hard to see how you get more for your money. Of those families we are discussing, a portion of them are receiving welfare benefits in the form of food assistance or food stamps. In the paper, Getting Fat on Government Cheese, the connection between social welfare participation, gender, and obesity in America, it is discussed how food stamps are not taken everywhere, and so the consumers have hard choices to make if they want to shop at all stores, specifically ones that don't offer balanced and healthy food in order to be able to buy food at all. Lastly, we have to address that we are not doing all that we can in promoting healthy food. We see commercials and billboards, and even our radio waves are filled with ads for the fast food chains of McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and even buffets. Get the most for your money, not the best for your body. But where are the ads for the grapes? Does the public know how important spinach is for the balanced diet? The general public has no interest in these foods because we don't make them a priority. I am here today, ladies and gentlemen, to hopefully change all that. We need to food access reform, ladies and gentlemen. We at the Miller Agency would like to propose a few steps in order to rid our beloved state of food deserts and in return curb our rates of obesity under the Food for Tomorrow policy. We would like to see the introduction of food and farmers markets to these areas and have devised ways to allow for this. In order to entice the vendors to the area, there will be low interest loans for startup costs for new vendors and low cost permits for these vendors should they take stake in the troubled areas. Supermarket chains that wish to build in these trouble areas can qualify for grants, but must serve the public by fulfilling certain objectives. These objectives will include the introduction of fresh fruits, vegetables, protein-rich foods, dairy, and whole grains. This will also include the proper marketing techniques of these items, the in-store training of these products, and the implementation of an EBT machine to allow the families on government assistance to shop also. We saw in New York the implementation of the green carts, carts that had fresh produce, and how successful they were in traveling and getting the food to the people. We could also do something like the green carts. We have many decommissioned buses in the state of Michigan that can once again serve a purpose. We can load these buses with fresh produce, and these buses can travel to these areas of low income and with no access to healthy food. Let the produce come to them. Markets willing to work with these buses will benefit from the economic stimulus packages we can assign. In accordance with the people and the public, we can change the way we think about food and the ways we can acquire it. People with no transportation, people who have limited mobility, and people living too far for transportation to help obtain food will benefit from this change. Instead of going to food, food will be coming to them. This benefits the EBT recipients as they can now shop at places that can support a healthy diet without being a gas station or a liquor store. This benefits the vendors, as low-cost startup and low-cost permit maintenance makes business affordable and smart. This benefits the community. This benefits our state. This policy will help turn obesity around. As I mentioned before, diets rich in fresh fruit and vegetables and other healthy food items promotes proper health and decreases the risk for obesity and other chronic conditions. This policy will give the citizens proper tools in order to battle obesity. No longer will the people have to choose constant options of empty calories, foods that are high in saturated fats, sodium, sugars, and chemicals, as these choices lead to weight gain even if they don't weigh on the pocketbook. There are costs to the state and federal levels as we get these changes off the ground. We will need to set up funding for the grants and have to work with the banks on the loans of the vendors. The cost of transportation of the decommissioned buses will also have to be addressed. A salary will need to be paid to the drivers and the distributors placed on these buses. We do realize this. We hope to collect tax-deductible contributions from corporations for the funding of the bus route and the drivers needed. We also recognize that the influx of new shoppers will help perk up the businesses as there will be new money coming in that was not there before. The policy is able to be supported well by the Republican and Libertarian voters as it upholds the rights of the farm and food workers. We do not wish to cut them out of anything as they're providing the nutrition to our people. We have an obligation to protect them and their interests also. The position of funding from state and federal levels may scare the Republicans as they feel it is too prescriptive of the government and too costly. But what price can you put on the safety of our people? Democrats have already been involved in what the Americans put on our plates, and we feel this policy well supports their goals as well. If we do not enact a change in policy to help eradicate our food deserts, we will still see rising statistics of obesity cases. We will see the eating habits of our people evolve into habits that do not include anything that is necessary to the body for proper development. Foods high in calories and sugars are harmful to people with type 2 diabetes. Those foods high in sodium are the enemy to people suffering from heart disease. Those conditions brought on by obesity are exacerbated by those food choices, and we need to change that. Food is a powerful tool, and we need to give our people the right ones. Keep in mind the people as you vote today. The people that we are sworn to protect. The people we are sworn to represent. Think of them I thank you for your time today.